Hello everyone and welcome back to Journey to Baby Jordan. So today's video we are going to be talking about giving your baby Benadryl. I had did some research on this when we were trying to give it to Raymir. The first couple times didn't see a lot of videos, so I thought I would make my own. In case you are new, our son, this is August the 12th I'm doing this, and next Monday he will be 9 months. The first time we gave our son Benadryl, he was 5 months old. Our son has a milk intolerance allergy. He can't do any of these formulas out here in the stores. He can't do peanuts, eggs, be around dogs, cats, shrimp, fish, wheat, soy, and the list goes on. Now, not only does he have these allergies, but our son also has like I was saying, dog and cat, regular allergies, and also like to Tide and other things. So the list just goes on. So the meaning of this video is there's going to be parents that are going to say, when do I know that it is time to give our son Benadryl? Okay, before I answer that question, I do want to say, do you already know if your child is allergic to something? And the reason I'm saying this, because if so, then there will be signs and symptoms that your child has possibly had before. When I say this, there are two different types of signs that we have gotten from our son. Examples. So when he was getting dairy cow milk formula, so he was going side to side. Every now and then he was not itchy, but most of the time he was constantly itching. So, and also he has eczema. So I want to throw that in there too. So it had got to a point to where we had been taking our son back and forth to the doctor. We had been to Children's, and it had gotten to the point to where nobody could really tell us anything. And so we had went to the doctor because it looked like he had a burn on his face because he had been itching and scratching so much. And I know a lot of people be like, well, you could have put the mittens on his hands. We had put 5 different brands on there, and the one brand that actually stayed on there, he was burning his face by still rubbing it. And so it got to the point where it looked like he had like almost a 1st-degree burn on his face. And, I had already been to the doctor the week before. So now we're going again, and, they're prescribing him antibiotics just in case there's infection. He's already been on all these creams for his eczema. And so, I knew that I had to advocate for him, and I knew the doctor's office was getting tired, but I didn't let up. I kept persisting it. And so the day after we had took him to the doctor, and it looked like he had a 1st-degree burn on his face. That next day was a different type of itch for him. It was a different type. Like, it was going side to side, back and forth. And when I called the doctor, she was like, just take him to Children's. Like, she basically was telling me that they had done everything that they could possibly do for him. And, like, we just need to get him to Children's because it's got to be something else. We had been trying to get him an allergy test. It was like a month and a half off. And so it was a lot of him itching. I mean, constantly, nonstop. Children's at that point gave him, it was 2.5 in Benadryl, and said if we needed to give him something that we could give him 2.5. I asked them to prescribe me Zyrtec because that's what they had prescribed him to give him for 2 weeks. And so while we were not giving him cow's milk, that while he was itching and getting it out of his system, that would help with his itch. Because at this point it had got out of control. Okay. Now, even though they told us that, we were not giving him 2.5. We were giving him 1 point, I don't know if you guys can see that, 1.25. So the first line was what we were giving him, and they were giving it to the second line, and it like knocked him out to where it scared us. I've only given him the 2.5 twice, and that's when it was like really bad. Now his face immediately swelled up. Immediately swelled up, and it kept swelling, and it kept itching. And when I say like a non-stop itch, that's more like something that you're eating. You know what I'm saying? The only other time that he's had that was when they kept telling me at Children's and his PCP that I can eat whatever I want and still breast pump. That is a lie. I had hibachi. Eggs were in the hibachi. It broke him out within 5 minutes. Eggs and soy are his top 2 allergies. And I had peanuts that had been fried in peanut oil that I didn't know. Then in less than 2 minutes, swelled him up, and it went to itching like crazy. So those were my signs letting me know I need to give my son Benadryl. If I had not, it would have gotten to an EpiPen situation. Now, these were the times where I would either, I was debating on giving him Zyrtec or Benadryl. I had to learn the difference between an eczema flare-up, which also has him itch, you know, but sometimes it's hard to figure out the difference. So when he would have, like, he don't do good with apples, he don't do good with bananas, he don't do good with oatmeal, and not all oatmeal has wheat in it, so it's not like it's a wheat oatmeal. And so these were things that I have to watch every time I give him something that's different, and not give him too many things so I can tell what is what. So if your child is like how my eyelid is now, if their eyelid starts doubling or tripling in size, or if up here it starts like getting kind of like this swelling, if their cheeks almost seem like it's like a round circle on top of them, just like this, and it's getting harder, or if their upper lip is like almost like it's pinched and swelling, these would be times that you would need to give your child Benadryl. I would not start off with the high dose of 2.5. And when I say Benadryl, let me make this clear, not regular Benadryl, infant Benadryl. I do the dye-free bubblegum flavor for him. Children's has told me that they do this all the time, that it's perfectly fine, because I was very hesitant. It took 3 doctors for me to tell me this, because I needed to give him this when he needed it, but I did not feel comfortable giving it to him. So that's why I want to do this video, to let you guys know, if your child is allergic to something, under 5 months, I would not recommend. I was trying the Dr. Tolbert's. It was not working for him because he was going through real life allergy stuff. But I also have videos on eczema stuff if you're wondering about eczema. But don't ignore the signs and the symptoms. It's the first thing, because if your child is allergic to certain foods, you need to get an allergy test. Advocate. If they're not getting your child in soon enough, keep taking him to the Children's. Keep taking him, or he or she, to Children's, because they will push that appointment on in. We are still going back and forth with tests to Children's, all of this stuff, because it's still so much that we are still figuring out that we don't know. So if your child, and you know your child better than anybody, is face is starting red, they're itching, their face is swelling, those are the signs that you want to look for, where you may need to give your child some Benadryl. Now, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor. Only thing I am is a mother who is advocating for her child. So, of course, you may have signs or symptoms that my child didn't have. Only thing I could tell you is from my experience. And what I will do is, some of the pictures may be graphic, because it will be from his worst times that he has ever itched. But if your child ever gets this itchy to where their face looks like this, keep advocating for them. because it was getting to the point where I was almost scared to take my son to the doctor. His face was looking so bad, but they knew what was going on. And it was to the point to where I just had to keep doing what I was doing, you know, because he's a baby that is going through so much in life, and I'm the only person that can speak for him. So if I had to call them, in which I have called his doctor's office 30 times, I've seen the call log. I have done it because I was advocating to get him something that he needed. Do what you gotta do, man. I mean, do what you have to do, because at the end of the day, when that child is looking at you and crying and you don't know what else to do, that's why I do my videos. You know, I like to be able to help out anybody I can. Once again, I gave you the signs, some of the symptoms, and how to start off. Don't get regular Benadryl. Get infant Benadryl. Always keep an eye on your child. If you're not sure, stay watching on them. If you're not sure, take pictures of them. Keep taking pictures and look by day and see how they change. Because if a child has a milk allergy, it's either going to come on really strong or it's going to come on and take their time. Usually it takes 2 weeks for a child to develop, and you can tell that they have a milk allergy. If you're not sure, document everything. That way you can go back and look from week to day to how everything was. I didn't want this to be a long video, but I always try to make sure I get as much information out as I possibly can. I think I got everything in here. If there's something else I missed, I will put in the description box. Once again, these pictures or might be a video I put at the end is for how he was at his worst. I don't even I never even showed my son when he was like this on this channel, but the only reason I'm doing this is because don't be afraid to advocate, to say something, to take your child. Do what you have to do, because even if they are itching to that point, their face will not always look like that. They will be better, but you will have to go through a process sometimes. It does not sometimes work overnight. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks, a couple months, but don't give up. I will answer as many questions as I can in the comments for you guys. Once again, I'm just going off my experience with my family. I pray this video was able to help somebody. And until our next video, you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye.